Let's go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining me. Wow, there's a lot of you waiting already. This is excellent. A great start. So tonight it is the Beatles Let It Be 2021 remix and Glyn John's mix listening party. I've got my CD box set here with me, all ready and fired up. So I just want to let you know how this works, because some of you won't have done this before. I've done a few of these before and it always seems to have worked pretty well. People seem to like them. So these listening parties, I can't just play you the Let It Be album over my live stream, because this video will just get taken down straight away. This is why I say you have your own copy ready, whether it's vinyl, CD, streaming, whatever. And when I give the countdown, when we're ready to go in a few minutes time, we'll do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All hit play at the same time. You will see down at the bottom of the screen where I'm at if you want to try and get in sync as close as you can. You listen to your copy. We all have a chat about it together, about what we're liking, what we're not liking, what could they have done better, that kind of thing. And we'll just have a relaxing evening, if it is evening where you are. So we are going to do the Let It Be remix album first. And then after that, going to do the Glyn John's 1969 mix, which I'm pretty sure that is available on streaming as well, if any of you haven't got one of the deluxe box sets yet. So that's how it's going to go shortly. So, but first of all, hello everybody, welcome, thank you. This is kind of my first beer for 3 weeks, because I've been not very well, had an operation, I'm kind of recovered now, and I can have a celebratory Guinness for this particular evening. So, hello everybody who's saying hello. And first of all, before we start, I just want to know, does everybody, is there anybody who's going to be listening to the remix for the first time on this live stream? Let us know in the comments if that's going to be the case. It would be interesting to know whether it's people who've already done it 10 times over the weekend, or whether you're brand new to it. Has anybody been saving themselves for this? In which case, I salute you if you've been doing that. Anthony's asking a question. What's my overall thoughts on the remix? For me, it sounds smoother, especially in the bass and drums, but nothing revolutionary besides Across the Universe. Do you know what? That's not far off what I'm thinking, to be honest. That kind of fits. If anybody saw my unboxing, I kind of said not far off what you're saying there. Seal Decker, sorry, are you able to answer my question? Does the vinyl sound better than the CD? Do you know what? I've had such a unexpectedly busy weekend. I haven't been able to play the vinyl yet. I've played the CD several times, but I haven't had a chance to just really relax and play the vinyl. So I did not expect to get to Sunday night and not having done that yet. I really didn't. Cheers, everybody. Michael Kosak, you're listening for the second time. Across the Universe seems to be the one that's really kind of grabbed people, and I really know. Is it possible to get a free stream? Well, this is free. This live stream's free. Do you mean a free stream of the album? Streaming Spotify. I guess you're going to have adverts if you're not a premium customer, so I don't know whether you'll get a free stream without adverts if you're not signed up to anything. So lots of hellos coming through, and hello back to all of you. So I think I'm going to get going very soon. Okay, I just want to make sure you're all kind of ready. But I think within the next minute or so we will be cracking on with the main remix of the album. So make sure you're sort of teed up ready. I'm going to be listening to it through headphones, so I'm listening to a rip of my CD, but it's a lossless rip, no quality lost. But this is so that, you know, if I'm listening to it through these, so it's not broadcasting through there, because like I say, it'll get the video taken down. Absolutely, if I try and do that. So go on YouTube, says Tyrone. Yeah, I don't know whether you would be able to do all that without adverts, but we'll see. Old guys who like old comics, who I would like to thank for volunteering as a moderator, just in case. You're always a lovely, lovely bunch, but just in case we get anybody who decides to cause a bit of trouble, he's got the power to kick you out. So thank you for helping out with that. Right, okay, enough of me waffling on. We're going to go with the remix. So I'm going to get ready. I'm going to do you a little bit of a countdown, and then we will all press play at the same time. So make sure you're ready. You'll see at the bottom of the screen where I'm at. I'm ready with two of us. So I'm going to give you a 10 countdown, folks. Are we ready? We're going to go in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Pick Me by Charles Hawtrey and the Dev-Aids. So what are we thinking about Two of Us, folks? Let us know what you think about the remix of Two of Us. I have a specific thought about the drums, which I think sound great here. I'm going to turn my volume up a little bit, I think. Give it some welly. I think the bass drum's got a really nice thud on this that maybe is there in the other versions, but I've not noticed it as much before. Nesta says there's clearly a difference between YouTube and high-res. Absolutely, I'm sure there is. I don't know what you think here, but it sounds to me a little bit as though John's a little higher in the mix. John's singing, that is. I don't know whether you think the same. Yeah, Sean, the guitars do sound really clear. Again, it's that bass drum. They've not. I don't think they've put the bass drum up in the mix so much, but it's just got a really nice thud to it. No sound, Matthew. As I've been explaining, if you need to play your version in sync, I'll put these little instructions up here. You play in sync because this video will get taken down if I played it. So you play your own copy. Colin, I've also got a Riga, a P3. I'm really looking forward to playing that vinyl. Sponsored by Guinness, Trevor. Yeah, Dickie thinks the same about John's vocal level. I think it is that bit higher. And they're two great voices together on this. It's like one of those last examples of John and Paul harmonies, so up front together. Brilliant. Hi, Ivan, from Puerto Rico. They'd used it as a B-side already, and unfortunately then it didn't get put on the album, which is a crying shame. It would have made the album a better album, without a doubt. Okay, we're getting towards the end of Two of Us now. Really nice. We will pause it at the end of, for the people who are on vinyl, we'll pause it at the right point for them. We'll give them sort of 30 seconds to flip the vinyl. Excellent. That's a cracking start to the album, Two of Us. Dig a Pony. I think you can hear more of the talking there. So, I don't think this is one of John's classics. And yeah, Don't Let Me Down would have been John's best song on the album by far, that was recorded in January '69 if it had been on here. So what do we think about Dig a Pony? Is there anybody who thinks Dig a Pony is their favourite song on the album? Would be interested to know. Anthony says it's the worst song on the album. Yeah, Matthew, would you like to have heard Paul sing it with Linda? I guess if they hadn't used it on here, maybe it would have been on the McCartney album. And maybe then that would have happened. Sheffield and beyond, that's very kind of you to say, thank you. Are we all pretty much in sync with where I'm at? Sean says it's not his favourite, but he does love it. Did anybody say that it was their favourite? There's plenty of you love it. Lewis, you're happy with your regular vinyl? That's fine, that's good. Hi Andrew, John's phlegm sniff at the start is a lot clearer. Lovely, thanks for that. It's a great guitar riff, no doubt, even if it's not what I would call a classic Beatles song. But this is a really nice guitar solo. Spectre was right to lose the original All I Want Is You at start of the song, says Andrew Thistlewood. I agree, yeah. Bruce, hi Bruce, you're having a thirsty ferret, sounds good. Good songs, you think it's one of John's most underrated ones? Okay. Hey Cristiano, can we do Don't Let Me Down after Get Back for the full 2021 mix experience? Let's see if we want to do that at the end. If we want to do that, I'm up for it. Sean thinks the whole album sounds more joyous. Maybe that's the presence of the new mix, I don't know, but yeah, I can see why you might think that. Hi Victor, you're waiting for your birthday to unbox your copy. Well, I hope you're not too far away from your birthday then. So you're on the 2009. Cool. Hey Kevin, good timing. John's hands are getting cold. Okay, here we go. Across the Universe. This version is sensational. I absolutely love this new remix of this song. It just seems to have so much sort of going on in the background. It's just building up a presence throughout the song. Really, really nice. If anybody's just joining us, you want to play along, we're about 35 seconds into Across the Universe at the moment. Try and get in sync and chat along with the rest of us. Andrew, I think the comment about the cold, I think it's there, but it's lower in the mix like a lot of things are. It sounds amazing. There's some orchestration coming up very shortly that's in the original mix, but a lot lower, and it really, really comes through on this. It's at about 1 minute 20, and it's just fantastic. It's coming in just about now for me. Fantastic. And yeah, that's there on the original Let It Be album, but it's harder to pick out. It looks like you're all really enjoying Across the Universe. Brilliant. I mean, it is a shame that it's not a song of the era. It was recorded like a year before. So it's John's best song on the album, I think. But it's a shame that it's not of the era. There's kind of... It's what sounds to me like Indian-style instrumentation in the background as well as the orchestra. And it's just beautiful. Sheffield and Beyond, is this the highest number we've had? I don't know. Where are we up to? 220? No, not yet. No, I think we've been up to about 300 before, which is crazy. It's brilliant. But thank you, everybody who's here. You all seem to be loving this. Old Guys says, wonder what George Martin's arrangement would have been like. It's an interesting question that we'll never know, will we? Michael has a new appreciation for the song now. I mean, this might be the highlight of the evening that we've just done here. It could be all downhill from this point onwards. Seal, too early to say, but I'm certainly really enjoying it. I think there's a good chance that in time it will become that. Ricardo, in your top 5 ever Beatles songs. Wow. Victor, there's also the harp that's much clearer in the 2021 mix. You won't be saying that about The Long and Winding Road. It's specifically not clearer. Anyway, that was beautiful. That was lovely. I Me Mine. This sounds great on this remix as well. I would like to know what your favourite part of I Me Mine is. Because listening to me it's undoubtedly Ringo and his fills. Ringo's fills are brilliant on this song. Really great. So, of course, this is the only full Beatles song recorded fully in 1970. That 3rd of January session. But I think this really rocks. My on-screen tracker is stuck. Okay, let's see if I can fix that. Thank you for telling me. That should be better now, is it? 1 minute into I Me Mine. That should be better now. Yeah, the drums sound great here. I think Ringo's done a fantastic job on this. Ringo in 1970, when this was recorded, obviously he did this. Plastic Ono Band, Various Things on All Things Must Pass, 2 solo albums of his own. What a great year Ringo had. Although he did leave the biggest band in the world in that year as well. So a lot of you probably know that what we're listening to, is twice as long as what was actually recorded. Phil Spector, the song was only a minute and a bit, and Phil Spector kind of looped it into something twice as long. I like the choir as well, and the brass. I think that's also one of the top songs on the album in terms of the remix, for me anyway. John isn't participating on that one, Bob Dylan, no. He was in Denmark, I believe, on holiday, and he'd left anyway. Dig It. Again, you know, this is not normal John Lennon song quality for a Beatles album, in my opinion. But again, I like the fuller version that we've got in the other discs, where it goes on for several minutes. That's quite fun. Georgie would. And now we'd like to do Hark the Angels Come. Here we go. The title track sounds absolutely pin sharp. And especially that single version remix as well that's on the EP disc. But that could have been recorded yesterday. Although it wouldn't sound like this now. Ah, Bob Dully, you're from Denmark, okay. Ricardo, can you create your own Let It Be album version? Yeah, we all can, can't we? Absolutely. Bruce says, do we all know who Matt Busby was? I guess, well, certainly most people in the UK will probably know. He would have been manager of Manchester United still at the time, wouldn't he? I presume he was anyway, still. Yeah, he was, yeah. So, do you prefer the single version or the album version of Let It Be best? Let's have a poll. We've not had a poll yet tonight. Let It Be, single or album? Let's have a look. I'm doing you a poll, guys, for you to vote on. There you go. Which do you prefer best? Hopefully that's come through. Which solo do people prefer, single or album? Album for me, even though it sticks out. It's got a lot more oomph as the album version, hasn't it? Which we'll find out, which we'll hear in a second, obviously. I think, yeah, this has got a bit more clout, hasn't it? Oh, the album version's doing well. It's got 80% of the vote so far. TP1415 says the naked version of Let It Be is the best. I'd have to go and listen to it again. I struggle to remember what the differences are between them all. Blockfrog, you've never heard the single version. If you check out the Past Masters album, it's on there. Okay, the album version is winning that poll. I'm going to close that poll now. Which I think came out at 75% of you said the album version was best. Obviously this version we're listening to now. Just to let you know, folks, that at the end of Maggie May, we're going to pause so that those people who are on vinyl can flip. So we'll have a 30-second pause after Maggie May, okay? 76% went for the album version. Excellent. I think this is probably, amongst the younger generation, this is probably up there with Hey Jude and Here Comes the Sun as just about the most famous Beatles song now, I think, isn't it? Brilliant. I'm very much digging this new remix. It's subtle, but it's just really, really fresh. And I'm even liking Maggie May more now than I did before. Dirty Maggie. Now, something I noticed on this just yesterday that I'd not thought about before. This is one of those few songs where John and Paul harmony, but John's taking the high and Paul's down low. Doesn't happen very often. But it's certainly happening here. So we're going to pause at the end of Maggie May for the vinyl people. Right, I'm at the end of Maggie May, folks. I'm going to pause there. If you do the same, let's give the vinyl folks a chance to flip the records. I'll give you a counting when we're going to come back. And let's just have a little look at the comments, see what we've got. I forgot Come Together, says Ricardo, as another one. Oh, yes, of course, Paul, down low. Yeah, I said there's not many. There's very few. You've got the verse of I Don't Want to Spoil the Party that's like that, and then they suddenly flip on the chorus, which is great. Yeah, Come Together, as people are saying. Yeah, Maggie May and the Nowhere Boy film is good, yes, as of course is In Spite of All the Danger is great. Kevin says your vinyl copy has bad inner groove distortion on Maggie May. That's a shame. I have heard somebody else say that as well. Somebody in the comments on my unboxing video said that they'd had that. It might have been, was it you? I can't remember. So anyway, right. Tom, hang on. We're not doing I've Got a Feeling yet. We're waiting for the vinyl people to flip. But we are about ready to go. I'm going to go with I've Got a Feeling, start of side 2, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Now this is probably one of my top 10 Beatles songs anyway. And I noticed something about this Friday night that I've never thought of before. I don't know if it's because of the clarity or whatever, but this now to me, it's like a stripped down. It's almost like a Helter Skelter version 2. In terms of the guitars, the some of the riffs that they're playing, it's like a diet version of Helter Skelter, I think. Oh, hi, Ben. Didn't know you were here. You flipped. You playing your vinyl? Excellent. Is that your first play, Ben? Alan's not even listening to the album, but he's enjoying it anyway. Brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, TP, the version on Naked that's usually my go-to version. Thank you, Lewis. Appreciated. So this bit where it goes into these years, is that not like Helter Skelter? It sounds like it is to me. I went early with my drum fill there. On your what? On my toes. This is a great version. Second run through, Ben. Cool. Okay. Don't forget, folks, at the end of this album, we'll have a few minutes to talk about it, and then we're going to do the Glyn Johns mix. Hope you can stick around for that. This is definitely one of my top 10 Beatles songs. Always has been. Hi, Kyle in Germany. How are you doing? This song makes me smile. It always does. Man, they were on fire, says Barry. They played really well up on that roof, didn't they? And we're going to get to see all that rooftop concert next month. That's going to be great. Ringo currently getting blisters on his fingers. If anybody's bang on in time with me on them drum fills, that would be fun. Yeah, Beatleham, Helter Skelter. I'd never thought of it before until Friday night. Good day in Sydney, Jason. How are you doing? 7 a.m. Monday morning. Ooh. Number one Beatles song. I don't know how to answer that question. I really don't. Could be different every day. John's bit said the same as you can't always get what you want, but in half the time. Okay. Paul in the top 3 rock voices. I'd go with that. 1 after 9 on 9. Billy Preston, Take a Bow. It's amazing, isn't it, that they brought back a song that they'd nearly got ready for release in 1963, and here it suddenly appears for the first time. And when you listen to the sessions, when they occasionally went back to some old songs, they kind of did it in a comedy way, as though they were embarrassed about it or having a laugh. Whereas this is, they're giving it everything. They're not taking the mickey out of themselves. You bang on in Spotify, okay? Says DJ Tim. Sergeant Pepper says, do you think you will enjoy the standard album more than the Get Back album? I'm enjoying the Get Back album at the moment. I'd never heard it until Friday because I don't really have many bootlegs. Yeah, the Anthology 1 version of this is a good way that you get a few sort of run-throughs of it, don't you? Yeah, Andrew Galvin, insane Billy Preston outtake on the Sessions disc. He's really going for it, isn't he? Move over once, move over twice. Come on, baby, don't be cold as ice. So much energy. You usually think of, well, I certainly think of energy as being to do with the early part of the Beatles. Towards the end was obviously brilliant songwriting and more intricate, but not usually with the energy. But this, fantastic. Wouldn't it be great if the cops on the roof of Apple started dancing? Next Beatles Deluxe release. Well, that's the big question, isn't it, Adrian? Where will they go after this? Should we have a poll of what you think? Let's have a poll. Next Beatles Deluxe. Oh, I can't type. Typing like an idiot. Could it be Revolver? Could it be Rubber Soul? Or will they go back right to the start and do Please Please Me? What do you think it will be? Let's have a look. Great energy. That was fantastic. I mean, fair play to Paul McCartney. He could have put his foot down and said, get rid of the orchestration, but it sounds like he's kind of accepted that. Did you say you can't change history? And it's here. He just said to Giles Martin, just turn down the harp a bit. I can't even remember where the harp was. Oh, there was like some flourishes, wasn't there, on the harp? Beautiful song. This is Mrs. Dixon's favourite Beatles song, if anybody is interested. Fourth option for something else. Yeah, I've gone with what I think are the most likely options, but I could be wrong. I think just which next one we would like or think it might be. I think it's like, which one do you think it might be? Some of you have probably gone for which one you'd like and have scuppered your vote. Clown wants them to do Rubber Soul rather than Revolver. Get drumsticks. I think I've got a set of drumsticks upstairs, actually. Oh no, brushes. I've got some brushes I used to use on my I've got a set of bongos that I used to use brushes on. Yeah, Victor, the demixing technology is what's scuppering certainly Revolver at the moment. Live at the Star Club, says Bruce. That'd be interesting. After all those court cases to keep it out of sale. Yes, Matthew, harp at the end of the song, isn't it? It's like a little flourish at the end. They played this at Cilla Black's funeral, says Tyrone. Interesting. I mean, she was a really good singer back in the 60s. I'm surprised Paul didn't also say turn them flipping violins down a bit. But yeah, it is nice, Block Frog. We're all doing that. Get your lighters on. I'll turn the lights off and we'll put our lighters on. Dickie says, please me next chronologically, but not much that could be done with the original mixers. I think they could make a better stereo mix, potentially, that isn't all like that, with a great big black hole in the middle. Long and Winding Road, Paul McCartney with the New York Philharmonic. Could we get a remix of Past Masters in a fallow year? I hope. I think I mentioned that in a video I did recently about Past Masters. I hope that they do those. Coming up to a big finish now. Okay, we're coming up towards the end of the long and winding road. George is up next. George's second song on the album. Yeah, there's no harp at the end there, is there? The Queen says no. That bit that John says, the Queen says no to pot smoking FBI members, that's the only thing on this whole album that was recorded in the Twickenham sessions. Everything else is from Apple Studios or whatever they did in 1970 as well. I do like the version that's on Naked, where you've got this little fudge that goes dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, that completely mixed out on here. How's that poll doing? Let's end that poll and see where it is. Revolver's won that poll, so potentially Revolver next. Well, we will see. Apparently, Giles Martin has said that he's been listening to some Eleanor Rigby sessions. Why would he be doing that? Unless it was for good reason. Don't know. Oh, this is it's a great blues song, isn't it? 12-bar blues. This is what I think of as a Happy George song. I like my Happy George. That guitar has gone really distorted in that bit. Just before he does his Elmore James bit. And now again. Does it sound like the gain's up way too high and it's kind of overdriving a bit? Doesn't sound great to me, doesn't that acoustic guitar? What were they thinking with this song, says Sheffield and Beyond? In what way do you mean? In what way do you mean? Let me know. Apologies if I'm missing any of your comments. I do go back the day after always and reread them, so I will see your comments, even if I don't get to them while we're doing this. Unfortunately, Elmore James does have something on this. I bought an Elmore James compilation about a year ago, and there's like 20 songs on it. And they've all got exactly the same guitar riff on. I got so bored halfway through. Loretta Farge thought she was a cleaner, but she was a frying pan. I like on this how it just, if you listen really carefully in the background, you'll hear a 1, 2, 3, 4 counting, so you know exactly when the song's going to come in. Even though I missed it just then. Wow, we're into the last song of the album. It's just dawned on me. That's gone quick. So again, we've got, this is another song with an album version and a single version. Of course, this has got talk at the start, it's got the talk at the end and whatever. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to do a poll again. Get Back song. Do you prefer this album version, or do you prefer the single version that cuts out all the chatter? You've got a poll coming through in a second. Let's see what you think. Oh, what was that? The distorted bit is a piano with paper on the strings. Is that right? I didn't know that. If that's the case, it sounded to me like a really distorted acoustic guitar. I'm going to cough. I'm going to turn my volume down while I have a big cough. Thank you. I'm back. This is a closer poll. The single version's doing well. I always wonder whether Jojo was code for Yoko. Was Paul sort of saying, you know, Yoko, get back to where you once belonged? I don't know. It's just something I've always wondered. People trying to stop the Beatles from playing. Yeah, the police are up. The police are up there now, aren't they? Monitoring the situation closely. No acoustic guitar on the intro. Yeah, I think apart from the intro, you're right. I think I was wrong. It just sounded to me like a distorted. We're at the end of the album, folks. Don't go anywhere. Because we're going to do the Glyn Johns mix shortly. Let's just have a little chat about that. So that, wow, we finished the Late B 2021 mix. It's done. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a poll in a second. I'm gonna close this one down shortly because it looks like it's. I think we've just about got a winner. You are just preferring the single version that doesn't have all the chatter either side, and it's. It's really interesting that we're going to hear that little bit of end chatter there again in a few minutes' time at the start of the Glyn Johns mix, which threw me the other night. So, now that you've all heard the 2021 remix, whether that was your first time or not, let's have another poll as to which version you prefer so far of the album, of the main Let It Be album. Do you prefer the original version or do you prefer the 2021 remix? Let's see what you think. Let's take these out for a minute. They definitely passed the audition, says Slava. Andrew, I've always wondered what's your current favourite Beatles song. I can't answer that, but I do have a kind of a I have several in my mind that are my current sort of earworms, the ones that I'm really, really digging. And I was thinking I might do a video on that potentially. So I don't want to tell you because it'd spoil that video because I think I might do that. But based on what I was saying a few minutes ago, it would be no surprise to know that I've got a feeling would be in that list. Definitely. So how's this poll going? Ooh, interesting. 2021 remix has taken a big lead. It's on 82% at the moment. Interesting. Can we have an option for the naked version? Well, I'll tell you what we'll do, TP. Because it looks like the 2021 remix is going to win this poll. There's no doubt about that. You don't come back from 17% to 83%. Our next one that we'll do is 2021 remix versus as the winner. So winner stays on. It's a bit like a game of pool, this. Winner stays on. We'll do 2021 remix versus Let It Be Naked. So let's end that poll because that is pretty one-sided. We know where that's going. So once the results come through to that, it will let me then do another poll that we'll do for the follow-up vote. So in not long, we are going to do the Glyn Johns 1969 mix that some of you will have on vinyl, some of you will have in the big deluxe CD box. So you might be streaming it. So be getting ready with that. So I'm going to do you another poll because we just said that we were going to do that. So favourite of these. So we're talking 2021 remix or Let It Be Naked. which is your favourite out of these two? Let's see what happens. I think we might get a similar result to what we've just had, but I could be wrong. Kev's on a Stella Artois. I'm nearing the end of my Guinness, and I haven't brought anything else into this room with me. I am not going to go out of this room, across the garden, into the house, and get a second beer, because you'll all just bugger off and leave if I do that. So I'm just gonna have to stretch this out for another album. How sad is that? So how's this going on? Oh, it is closer. It's closer than the last poll, but it looks like the 2021 remix is lining up for a good win. What are my top 3 voices in rock? Says Sean. Is it unfair to have John and Paul taking up 66.6% recurring of the available positions? Who else do you choose? It's tough because I could say Robert Plant, I could say Freddie Mercury, Roger Daltrey. Well, they won't be 3 bad options. Somebody's got to come in and beat those to get into the list. I'd maybe go Freddie, personally. You can't beat a bit of Freddie. Whoa, random fact, says Stephen A. Maureen Starkey was my mum's hairdresser. That's presumably before she married Ringo. I'm guessing she didn't have to keep a job on the side after she married a Beatle. That's brilliant. Do you know what? I'm ashamed to say, thinking about this, I don't know. Where was Maureen from? Was she a Scouser, or was she from? Did Ringo meet her in London? I honestly don't know the answer to that. Let us know if you know, because it's just dawned on me that I don't know the answer to that. We never really hear a great deal. Well, obviously she's no longer with us, of course, but we never really heard a great deal about her involvement at any point. Paul Rodgers is great, but certainly if I was going to watch Queen, I'd rather have Freddie Mercury with them than Paul Rodgers. But that's maybe an unfair comparison. But yeah, he's great as well. Bowie's brilliant. Whether I'd have him as the best singer, I don't know. I'd certainly have him up there as one of the best geniuses in rock. No, Ben, I'm not going to get a drink. I'm not going because it's. Maureen was from Liverpool. Thank you, Tony. And Andy says the same, and maybe some more of you have as well. So anyway, let us get prepared, and I need to get prepared at my end as well with the Get Back Glyn Johns mix. Have we all got that teed up and ready? Hopefully you can see that on screen. I've got that. Yeah, you can't actually. You won't see it until I start playing, I don't think. When I start playing it on iTunes. So yeah, we're going to do the 1969 Glyn Johns mix. We are very, very close to getting started with that. How long is it? Let's have a look. It's 42 minutes. Okay, we can do that. I can do that. Can you do that? So again, let us know. Well, actually, let's just have a look at how this poll's going. 2021 remix is winning that. It's won that. Let's end that poll. Is anybody here listening to... yes, somebody please bring me a pint. Is anybody here about to listen to the Glyn Johns version for the first time? Let us know. I would love to know whether... Oh, well, Dickie's preempted me, I think, here. You've never heard this before. Okay, well, you're in for an interesting experience. I've played this, I think, probably 4 times since it arrived on Friday. And I'm digging it. I think it's fun. It's weird in places. There's bits that I think, oh, I wouldn't have done that. And there's bits where it throws you because it messes with what you know. But I'm enjoying it. And some of it sounds good. So I think there's going to be a few. The model channel, you personally haven't heard the new ones. This will be a first. I think there's a few of you by the looks of you that haven't heard any of this before. So wow, I'm really pleased that you're sharing your first listen with us. I hope you're going to enjoy it. So anyway, we're about to crack on. So make sure you've got your copy ready, because I'm about to do a 10 countdown. Okay, starting with 1 after 9:09. Now, actually, can somebody just tell us, because I'm not on vinyl here? Can you tell me where it flips? I'm guessing it might be after For You Blue, just so that we know where to stop for the vinyl people. If somebody can let us know what song to flip at the end of, because I haven't got my vinyl copy with me here. Okay? So anyway, without any further ado, let us give you a 10 countdown to the Glyn Johns mix of the Get Back album that we could have had in 1969. Finally, it's officially out to own. So, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! 1 after 9:09. Let's do this. I would be surprised if someone walks in with a pint because the door's locked. John, Paul. Or on your screen, it's probably the other way around. Move over once, move over twice. Come on. I think Billy's a bit lower in the mix here. But they've definitely done big stereo separation on the vocals. Jimmy D, I believe it is on Spotify. I think they've got the whole thing on there, the whole package. I mean, this sounds to me like it's probably the same. I think it's the same take of the song. It's Rooftop Concert, of course, isn't it? Yeah. But it's a very different mix to what we got with Phil Spector. Got the number wrong. Voices caught me off guard, says Mazin. Especially like me if you're on earphones or headphones. Move over twice. Come on, baby, don't be in Connor's eyes. Complete rip-off, says Michael Farrer. Complete rip-off of what? Let me know what you think it's a complete rip-off of. If anybody's just joining us, make sure that you are playing along. I think my timer has stuck again, so let's just get that working. Timer's back. Make sure you're sort of in line with where I am here. Just over 2 minutes into 1 after 9:09. Yeah, thank you, Lewis. I've reset it. It should be okay again now. Bass sounds better on this mix, says Anthony. Yeah, you can hear it a bit more, can't you? What's the logic in monetary terms for putting it all on Spotify, says Sheffield and Beyond? It's a good question. I guess that's a big decision they have to make. Now, if you've not heard this album before, you're in for a surprise in a moment. Get ready for when this song stops. I'll let you listen. That really threw me when I heard that for the first time on this album. Okay, so we're now into the I'm Ready, Save the Last Dance for Me rocker. I could have done without this, to be honest. But I guess if the album's intention was to show them rehearsing in a studio, I can see why it's on here, but Michael thinks it's a better opener than Two of Us. I mean, it would be a great opener, wouldn't it? Yes, Matthew, this is a remaster, not a remix, correct? And according to Giles Martin, it's Glyn Johns that's remastered it. Again, did I need them doing Save the Last Dance for Me? I don't know. It's interesting now they're about to go straight into Don't Let Me Down off the back of it, because they were so in tune with each other. Does anyone prefer One After 909 as the opener over Two of Us, says Michael? That's a good poll question. I'm going to ask that as a poll. Best opening song. Two of Us or One After 909. Let's see what you think. Let's get a poll going. Best opening song. Two of Us or One After 909. Let's see what you think. Waste of space on the album. Yep. So if you're listening to this for the first time, you're about to hear a different version of Don't Let Me Down. Paul's trying to do Dig a Pony on bass. Two of Us is doing well in the poll. This is just a bit more laid back. Billy's a bit more sort of jazzy and loungy on this. You're 3, 4, and I'm 5, 6. Andrew Thistlewood says about whether or not it's a half-speed master. The Beatles video that they published on Friday saying this is all out, it specifically says that it's that they are half-speed vinyl discs. So they would seem to be half-speed. Two of Us seems to be winning the poll. Let's end that poll. I presume they're going slower because they're still learning the song, maybe. Yeah, very chill version, Beatleham. There you go, Two of Us. Got 2/3 of the vote as best opening song there, but interesting. Oh, bang on 100 votes, very good. I mean, well, the next poll question has to be, should Don't Let Me Down have been on the main album? And when I say been on the album, I'm talking about the Let It Be album. Let's see what you think. There's your next poll. I mean, I wouldn't have had this version on it, but it just, from John's perspective, he would have come across so much better, I think, on the album with this song on it. Yes, 98%. Goody, 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 goody. What would it replace, Joe? That's a good question. Would it replace or would it be an additional song? That would be the next thing to think about, wouldn't it? But they're enjoying themselves here, aren't they? Don't think anyone will vote no, says Beatleham. Well, 4% of you are. It was already on the Hey Jude LP a month earlier, yeah. And it was also a B-side in the UK to Get Back. Yeah, it was the B-side to Get Back, wasn't it, over here? Would have dropped Dig a Pony for Don't Let Me Down. I can't argue with that. Ooh, James, controversial, would drop One After 909. Dump Dig It and Maggie May. Yeah, that would be fair enough. Changing the tempo. Bit more chatter at the end. I've Got a Fever. Glynis, I love that. All right, Glynis. Okay, we're going into the long version of Dig a Pony now. So some of you, again, will be hearing this version of Dig a Pony for the first time. And it's very different. Well, it's got... sorry. No. Forget that. I'm getting mixed up with Dig It. Forget I said that. Well, Tom, you'd have dropped across the universe for it. You know, that may well be what could have happened because it wasn't part of the Let It Be sessions, the January '69 sessions. Maybe that's what they would have actually done. It's possible. Well, let's end that poll because it's frankly embarrassing. 96% would have put Don't Let Me Down on the album. Raymond, there is no need to go to those lengths. You don't need to drop your trousers for Don't Let Me Down, but I'm sure the offer would have been appreciated. 95% say Don't Let Me Down should have been on the album. Ricardo, is that your dream Let It Be album that you've posted there? Get Back I'm in Mine. Ballad of John and Yoko. Isn't it a pity? Maybe a good album. Michael McGrath, you've never seen the Let It Be film. It's not an easy thing to see, is it? Unless you can find it on YouTube now and again. I used to have a VHS of it 30 years ago. I think the Peter Jackson film's going to blow it away. I'd love to know why that 4% wouldn't have included it, says James. Yeah. This guitar solo again sounds great. Tom says, do I like the 68 World Wildlife version of Across the Universe? I really do. I like the backing vocals more that are in it. I like all the bird flaps that introduce it, and I do like it very much. Oh, the Ruttles on the Roof, says Tyrone, doing Get Up and Go. Brilliant. Please Please Me was the first Beatles studio album I bought, says Anthony. So it's nice to have a Get Back album cover with the same cover. Yeah, and I love the notes on the back of this, the Tony Barrow notes that he wrote in 1969 that have done, everything's done in the style of that Please Please Me album, isn't it? The layout of the text and everything. Really nice. Bella the dog says there was a nice display of Let It Be around the tills in HMV. Very good. Did you get one of those bags that they're giving with it? Don't Let Me Down, arguably best B-side the Beatles did. Yes, I do. Straight into I've Got a Feeling. There's some nice Billy Preston there as well. Yeah, Barry, the Get Back film is going to be brilliant. It really is. Oh, what's this? Great question, Kev. What was the question? I missed it. I can't see what question Kev asked that was a great question. Oh, where did the Ruttles film their parody? Yes. Great question, Kev. I don't know. I presume it would be in London. I mean, this hasn't got the energy of the album version, has it? Whether that's in the performance or the mix, I think maybe a bit of both. Still great though. Anthony says Paul's voice isn't at the forefront of this mix as much as the original. Yeah. On your what? I love that. They've used that in the adverts for the album, haven't they? On your what? Rutland. I mean, it's hard to believe that Rutland's a real place, isn't it? I don't even know where it is, but I know there's a real area called Rutland. Somewhere south of where I am. Just north of the Midlands, is it? John's got a raspier voice there on this bit than on the main album version, hasn't he? Andy says, complete rooftop concert will feature in the upcoming Get Back. Yes, it will. Likely be released on Blu-ray, hopefully. I will be astonished if it's not released on Blu-ray and DVD. It's got to be. I cocked it up trying to get loud. Brilliant. Now, this is interesting. It goes into Get Back Now, and this is the one that sounds the most like what we know already. I mean, it's the same performance, just I think there's probably a bit more reverb on the mix. But other than that, we're listening to the Get Back song that you know here. Rutland is near Leicestershire, says Dickie. Thank you very much. What towns or cities are in Rutland? I don't know. Oh, Rutland. Oh, here we go. We're getting some good geography lessons here about Rutland. East Midlands, bound to the western north by Leicestershire, to the northeast by Lincolnshire. Okay. So it's near Derbyshire, presumably, then. I guess. Derbyshire-ish. To be fair, they didn't release the Shay concert, which I was amazed about. Saw it in the cinema for the 8 Days a Week film and thought, oh, we'll be getting this soon. Never got it. Is that Rooftop on vinyl? Not the full Rooftop concert. No, maybe it will be at some point, but not at the moment it isn't. Yeah, True Blue, it will be released on DVD. I have no doubt about that at all. Why didn't I bring a second one with me? So there you go, folks. Anyway, if anybody not from the UK, if you didn't realise that Rutland is a real place, you might not have realised that. Yes, Rutland Weekend Television with George doing the pirate song. That was fun. It was at the end of the 8 Days a Week. It was, yeah, in the cinema. Hey, cheers, Tyrone. I'm just getting a little bit of distortion in the left channel here, just then. I presume that's baked into the record. Oakham and Uppingham are in Rutland. Okay, thank you, Raymond. I'm not massively familiar with those. Well, not familiar at all with those two towns. So no great revelations on Get Back, I don't think. It's kind of as you know it, isn't it? Just maybe a bit more reverb. Yeah, Alan, the Glyn Johns says the Glyn Johns version is perfect. It's very good, isn't it? Very good. Sam says 7th of January 69. Paul comes up with the melody and chords just by humming along to his bass. Brilliant. Could somebody tell me I mentioned where does the album flip after which song? Because I'm suspecting it might be at the end of For You Blue potentially. I imagine it is, so that we know to pause for the people who are on vinyl. Let me know, please, because I haven't got the vinyl with me in this room. True Blue wants a Rubber Soul remix box set. So do I. Yes, Sheffield is a real place, definitely. No doubts about that one. Flip now, says Anthony. What, flip ahead of For You Blue? Oh. Right. I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause for 15 seconds to get a bit better in sync. I'm pausing now. You'll see that on your screen. I'm pausing. I'll admit I made a cock up there. I should have known that. I'm going to go in a few seconds' time so that the people on vinyl are a bit nearer. You might want to have paused yourself if you're doing it digitally. But I'm going to go again in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And I'm now a minute into For You Blue. So hopefully we're about in sync. Great ice rink in Sheffield, says Tyrone. I've seen Paul McCartney there at the Sheffield Arena, isn't it? It's the same place where the ice arena is. I've seen Paul McCartney there. That was the first time he ever played She's Leaving. No, sorry, that was the first time he'd ever played Getting Better live in the UK, was there. Saw Bob Dylan there as well a few years ago. Maybe you could say that the album would be too good with Don't Let Me Down, and then it wouldn't be the album we have now. Can an album be too good? Don't know. Thank you, True Blue. I'm not going for a drink, Tyrone. I'm going to leave here hoarse. Anything north of the M4 is the north. I can't agree with that, Tom. Mind you, where is the M4? There's a bit there where George goes all Dylan. You looked at me, that's all you had to do. So obviously this is a very different take of For You Blue that we've got on the main album. But I think he's definitely channeling Dylan in the singing there. So overall, I prefer the version that's on Let It Be, but I like the little rundown that he does at the end of the of each sort of run round of the 12 bars. Teddy Boy. Still feels weird to me hearing Teddy Boy as a Beatles song. I mean, it's probably fair to say that this wouldn't have been some John's bag. And of course, he takes the mickey at the end, doesn't he? But just think, yeah, this could have ended up on here. All Things Must Pass could have gone on here. Gimme Some Truth could have gone on the album if they'd got finished, and early Beatles solo careers would have been different, especially All Things Must Pass. What's awful, Andrew? What didn't you like? Andrew Galvin says awful, awful. What's awful? Oh, I see above you hate this version of Teddy Boy. Okay. Andrew, do you like the version that's on the McCartney album? Let me know. Do you like that? Is it the song in general that you don't like? Seal Deco, which disc do I prefer? Disc 2 or 3? Too early for me to say at the moment. I've not spent enough time with both of them to be able to have a difference in my head. And Yeah, okay. Glad this wasn't on the album. McCartney version far superior, says Lewis. I agree. It wasn't ready, was it, at this point? Andrew Galvin, you do like it on the McCartney album. Okay, cool. John's had enough. John's decided to take the mickey now. Westfield thinks that it never sounded sonically sharp as other albums. Yeah, because of course they got to Apple, didn't they? And Magic Alex had set up a deck that just didn't work at all. So they had to quickly get some equipment in and do a makeshift studio. John's had enough. Take your partner, do-si-do. I mean, this is one of those things that we've always kind of seen clips of this on, I think probably on Anthology and wherever, of John doing that. It's nice to have it on the album at last. Could an updated Anthology be the next Beatles release, says Kevin? Oh, you mean the Anthology albums rather than the documentary? Maybe. I think if they do get Anthology on streaming, on Disney or wherever, with updated titles to make it look not so 90s, then maybe they will re-release the albums. There'd be some demand for it then, potentially. There's that one for further consideration. Okay, we're off into Two of Us again. See how this version differs. It's a little bit... I think John especially is just holding back, isn't he? They're not fully going for it at this point. So that would have been a real shame if this had been the version of Two of Us. I love that rocky version of Two of Us that still hasn't been officially released. I'm really hoping that they show a good portion of that in the Peter Jackson movie. I think they will. Remastered Anthology on Blu-ray would be great, but yeah, they would have to take all the titles off screen and they would have to redo them. I watched the DVD again recently and it's just really, you can see each individual line that makes it up. It looks old. True Blue's getting the 5-disc vinyl set tomorrow. It's a beautiful set. It really is. It's one of the best. It's probably the best vinyl package of a single album that I've got, I would think. John's bit on Teddy Boy was funny, says Blockfrog. Yep, it was. He'd had enough of it, hadn't he? Granny music, as he called it. There's some nice little drum fills from Ringo there. Wish he'd kept those in. Good question from Graham here that we've been having a debate about on Twitter over the last day. Where do you place the album, before or after Abbey Road on your shelf? I've got a poll going on Twitter about this. Let's get a poll going on here. Where do you file Let It Be on your shelf? Does it come before Abbey Road? Or does it come after? Sorry, I'm only talking slow because I'm typing. Let's see if the result of this matches roughly what people on Twitter have said. What's going to happen in 2023 with 50 years of the Red and Blue albums, says Chris Hickman. I think in terms of the copyright laws that have forced these releases over the last few years, nothing, because it's all protected anyway. But whether they'll do a 50th anniversary, yeah, they might do. They might do a 50th anniversary remixed version, maybe. Find out in a couple of years. Yeah, thanks to Giles Martin. He's doing a good job, I think. How's this poll going? It's not going the way I want it to go. George had not yet perfected his guitar line, says Sam. Yeah, that's a work in progress, that version of the song, isn't it? Definitely. Dirty Maggie May. I think this is the same version of Maggie May, this, isn't it? Just a different mix. Oh, not much different though. It's very, very similar. Okay, let's end this poll. Because I understand the arguments. I understand the logic of Let It Be coming after Abbey Road. I just can't bring myself to do it on my shelves. All right, here we go. Dig It. If you're hearing this album for the first time, this may well be a very, very different version of Dig It to what you're familiar with. It's just a... I'm not quite... I'm sure this was a lot of fun to play in the room. But I'm glad it didn't make it onto the album. So, yes. Has anybody not heard this version of Dig It before? Let us know. I need a 12-pack mini fridge in the studio and keep it well stocked. It's a good idea. It is a very good idea. Yeah, Edward, Giles Martin says on an NME he was listening to Eleanor Rigby playbacks. So yeah, why would he be doing that? Unless there was good reason for it. So that might be a little teaser from Giles there. He must know that these things get picked up on when he says them. Lennon's annoyed, says Tyrone. I mean, I do like this as a jam, but it's not a great song, is it? Colin's first time for this version was on Friday. Yeah, decent little jam. I think that sums it up nicely. Oh, James, the Beatles go under B, not T. You can't have the. You just have 100 bands listed together. Marcel says Dig It is the one Beatles song I can do without. You know, I think if the question was what is the one Beatles song you can do without, Dig It would get a few votes, wouldn't it? Definitely. Oh, Manolo, John and Paul's drunken studio session. The toot and a snore. It's awful. It's so... I mean, historically, it's very interesting, but it's so bad to listen to. What's all this talk about Yoko, Sean, and Julian? I'm pretty sure they're not going to be here, but that'd be fun, wouldn't it, if they were? Westfield says Giles has said he can't do the early album since he can't separate tracks to remix. Yeah, I think, I think he could do it. Could he do it as well as he'd want to do it? Yeah. Lima says it's missing You Know My Name. I can understand why it's not on here. It wasn't part of the January 69 sessions. But of course, neither was Across the Universe, so. Where are we going next? We've got Goodbye, Georgie Wood. Now we'd like to do Hug the Angels Come. Take 27 of Let It Be coming up now. Sync to second clap. So I think the main difference on this version of Let It Be that I've noticed is it's got a bit more reverb than the versions that we know. And you'll hear that when Paul starts singing. Block Frog, they could re-release the old albums with boatloads of takes. I don't know whether they will. There's another interesting thing that Giles Martin said in one of these new interviews where he's saying about speaking to Kevin Howlett, you know, does the liner notes and he's a massive fan, he knows his stuff. Kevin Howlett would be saying to Giles, you've got to have this version in, you know, the fans will expect it. And Giles Martin's saying, well, but it's not very good. And Giles is more about, Giles wants things that sound good, and other people want things for the historical importance. So it's difficult to balance. Yeah, I've seen some comments over the last few minutes about things like Susie Parker, Mailman, Bring Me No More Blues, etc. Maybe they just decided that some of that stuff people have got on Anthology or wherever, and that they felt that they didn't need to put it on here, and instead that they could put some stuff that they hadn't released before. I don't know. Mo Mandolin makes a very good point that's totally off topic. Are we expecting a 50th anniversary half-speed vinyl release for Wildlife in December? I really hope so. We're not going to get an announcement while Let It Be is brand new out, I don't think. We've then got Paul's lyrics book that I think he'll be concentrating on promoting. If it's going to happen, maybe we'll get an announcement after that. But yeah, they're pushing it a bit in terms of time. Let's have it out to buy as a Christmas present. Would be great. Listen to Billy Preston's keyboard. That's fantastic. In the left channel. During George's guitar solo, Billy Preston sounds like he's on the Wurlitzer at Blackpool Tower. Not Blackpool Tower. Blackpool. My Apple timing is stuck again. Right, let's get that back on. There you go. Thank you. Please keep telling me if that happens. We're just over 3 minutes into Let It Be. Well, I am. I hope you are as well. Where are we? Thank you, Sheffield and Beyond. You're welcome. Thank you, James. Am I going to Nebworth, Tyrone, to see Liam? No plans to. No plans to. Billy's keyboard again. That's brilliant. I love that. Yeah, the Tower Ballroom, that's in it, in Blackpool is what I'm thinking of. Reload our stomachs. Are we supposed to giggle in the solo? That was placed differently on Anthology, wasn't it? I think. It wasn't at the start of Long Winding Road, was it? Or was it? I can't remember. Anthony, you're going to Nebworth. Excellent. So, Okay, poll time. Long and Winding Road. Do you prefer it stripped back like this? Or do you prefer it with Phil Spector's... the stuff that McCartney hated? This is your next poll that I'm just about to send you. Which do you prefer? Oh, Long and Winding Road I've put. Let's get that corrected. Okay, there's your next poll coming through. Long and Winding Road. Which do you prefer? This laid-back version, Phil Spector's big version. Oh, Lewis, we have had so many this year. Plastic Ono, Ram Half Speed, All Things Must Pass, Imagine White Vinyl, Let It Be, McCartney 3 Imagined. It's been a big year, hasn't it? I kind of want a quieter year next year, I think. Yeah, that's a good point here, old guys. Two songs don't blend well. Let It Be into Long and Winding Road feels a bit much. They should have kept them apart, maybe. Naked version, yeah, says Tom. Not the Give My Regards to Broad Street version. I've probably got more versions of this song than any other song, I think, when you include all McCartney's solo versions and Wings versions as well. Spector put too much candy floss on it, says Donna. Yeah, James's wallet would like a quieter year. How's this poll going? Let's have a look. 61% of you so far are saying you prefer the stripped back version to the Spector Overload version. Why don't we do it in the Long and Winding Road? It's not far off the end of the album. We've only got a reprise of Get Back after this, so I would like to know. I'm going to give you another poll in a second to see whether or not you would like us to do the EP, the 4-track EP. Because I can do that if you want me to. So let's just end this first poll, which has been a win for the stripped back version. You voted by approximately, I'm just waiting for the official, 62% of you said you preferred the stripped back version of Long and Winding Road. Possibly Bailey. We'll find out next month. Which one of Long and Winding Road do I prefer, says Westfield? I kind of like the full overblown version, to be honest. Okay, we're into the last 30 odd seconds of the album now. A reprise of Get Back, for whatever reason. Okay, I'm going to do you one more poll first before I do the shall we do the Let It Be EP question. So my question is, favourite version of the album? Oh, if I could type. I'm making so many spelling mistakes. Do you prefer Let It Be album, or do you prefer the Glyn Johns Get Back album? Which do you prefer? Let's have a look. The album's finished at my end. That is the Glyn Johns album. Let's see how this poll goes. I hope you enjoyed that album as well, especially those of you that hadn't heard it before. Once we've done this poll, I'm going to ask you whether or not you want for the EP, whether you want the EP. I'm going to, just in case you say yes, I'm going to get prepared because at the moment, I haven't actually got it in this version of iTunes. I'm running on for weird technical reasons, I'm not running on my normal version of iTunes for this listening party. For long and dull reasons. The long and dull reasons. So let me just find it anyway. While you think about it, send your comments through. I'll get to your comments in a moment. But I'm just firing up I'm just getting the EP onto my computer. Let It Be EP. Here we go. It's in. It's in. Right, how's this poll going? 76% of you prefer the Let It Be album over the Glyn Johns Get Back album. I think that sounds about fair to me. Westfield, you can't see the poll. Interesting. It's there. People are voting on it. We've had 96 votes so far. So I think hopefully you can see it now. Let's end that poll because that looks like a resounding win. Actually, let's just let it get to 100 votes. We're on 98 at the moment. Let's let it get to 100. 99. Come on, let's have one more vote. And then I'll end this poll. And we'll think about the Let It Be EP. If you want to do that. Because why not? Come on, I'm stuck on 99 votes. Surely one more of you can vote. Come on. One more. We're not going anywhere. Thank you. 100 votes. Right, I've ended that poll. The Glyn Johns remix should be sold on its own, says True Blue. You know, maybe it should, but commercially they've got to have a way of enticing people into these packages, haven't they? And the Glyn Johns mix is a big draw, and I guess it's commercially it's obvious why they've done it. Across the Universe is a glaring omission from the Glyn Johns mix. I think Ross, probably the reason why it's not on there is, well, you have to look at the reason why it was put on the Phil Spector version of the album, and that's because they knew that there was going to be snippets of it featured in the movie, so they thought, right, well, let's have it on the album. And probably when Glyn Johns was doing his mix, they didn't know that it was going to be in the movie, so there wasn't the need to put it in there. I think that's right. Graham, have I ordered the McCartney lyrics books? I certainly have. Yes, I absolutely have. Anyway, let's just see whether, do you want us to do the Let It Be EP, which hopefully most of you know what that is. It's in the deluxe sets, vinyl and CD. It'll be on Spotify as well. I presume labelled as the Let It Be EP. And it's 4 tracks. Let me just pull the disc out from. Let me just pull it out from here, so that we can just have a little look for anybody who's maybe not seen it yet. Here we go. So this is the Let It Be EP, which is something that's never existed before. It's been quite controversial, and it is. I'll read you the track listing for anybody who doesn't know. It's Across the Universe, unreleased Glyn Johns mix. I'm in Mine, unreleased Glyn Johns mix. If we do it, which the poll looks like the poll is suggesting that we're going to be doing this, for those of you that are on vinyl, we will pause so that you can flip your vinyl. We will pause properly this time, I promise you. And then on the second side is Don't Let Me Down and Let It Be, brand new remixes of the single versions of the songs. Which does beg the question, where's a brand new remix of the single version of Get Back? But that's a question for another day. So I think, well, 89% of you, I thank you, have actually said you want more of this nonsense and you would like to carry on for a little bit longer. So I've got to be up for work in the morning. But, okay. Your wish is my command. I'll end that poll. For those of you that are happy to stick around a bit longer, we are going to do the Let It Be EP, which I have just imported into iTunes. I'm just going to put it into a playlist. That just makes things a little bit easier at my end. So we'll get going with that in a minute. So hopefully you're all finding that on Spotify, or you're getting your CD out, or you're getting the vinyl out. Just a reminder, if you are looking on Spotify or Apple Music, wherever you're looking, it's Across the Universe 1970 Glyn Johns mix, followed by I'm in Mine 1970 Glyn Johns mix. We will then pause for 30 seconds for the vinyl people to flip, where we do Don't Let Me Down and Let It Be, brand new single remixes. Okay? So I'm pleased to say that most of you have stuck around for this as well, which is, I really do appreciate. Thank you very much. I tell you, I don't ask often, but I do ask now and again. If you've enjoyed this listening party, please give a thumbs up, a like to the video on the main video page, because that just helps YouTube to think that, oh, people might like this, or recommend it to some more people. That would be very, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. Thank you. Just while we get ready for the Let It Be EP. So I'm nearly ready. How about you? Sheffield and Beyond is being asked to stay. Does that mean that he's got to go? I'm boycotting the Let It Be EP. I think that's. I'm guessing you don't agree with its very existence. I can understand it's been a controversial thing. Oh, you're sticking around? Excellent. Okay. Right. Okay. Enough of me prattling on. I will give you a 10 count, and then we'll get cracking with first song, which is Across the Universe 1970 Glyn Johns mix. So, I have no voice left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. You're right, Richie. Yet another version of Across the Universe. Thank you, Marcel. Block Frog, I think just it's the fact that it exists, 4 songs taking up 1 disc, when people would have preferred maybe the rooftop concert instead. You've got that. Again, what is it? Is it like, I don't know whether it's Indian instrumentation or what, in the right channel? And there's the 2 lovely ladies. Rest in peace, Lizzie Bravo. With their high backing vocals. So this is a lot closer to the World Wildlife Fund version, isn't it? Really nice. How cool must that have been to have just been hanging around outside Abbey Road, and then you get asked to come in and sing on a Beatles song? Must have been fantastic. But again, it's a beautiful version again. I like the World Wildlife version that's got the backing vocals that go, ah, or something like that. Not exactly that. Ah. Yeah, no orchestra in this mix, of course, Anthony, that's right. I think that makes John more prominent. So I think this version of Let It Be and the version that's on the main album, the main Let It Be remix, just fantastic, both of them. Very different to each other, but both brilliant. And I say very different, even though it's exactly the same recording of the song. This EP on vinyl is mixed quite loudly, says Anthony. Yeah, I've not had a chance to play the vinyl yet. I need to get that done as soon as I can. And you've had to turn the volume down slightly. Yes, Graham. Yeah, there's definitely technical challenges that George has got. I just hope he's able to overcome them. I think there is a much better mix of Revolver that could be made, personally. It might be sacrilege to some. To the apple scruffs. Yeah. Okay, we're on to I'm Me Mine now. So it's a cut down version because, as we said earlier, Phil Spector kind of looped it. No John, of course, here. He'd gone. He was out by this point. Is this... This must be a different take to what's on the album, because George doesn't sound to me to be singing it as confidently here. It's just a little bit reserved in his singing. But this sounds like the same take, so I've not quite got it clear in my own head yet, I don't think. Yeah, Richard, a record store day release of the Glyn Johns mix might happen at some point. I wouldn't be surprised. Once everybody's bought the box sets for it. Again, Ringo's fills. I love his fills on this song. Okay, so at the end of I'm in Mine, we're going to pause. Please pause at the end of I'm in Mine so that the vinyl people can flip their record. I'm pausing now. I'm paused. Okay, we're going to stop there just for 30 seconds or so that people can flip their vinyl records onto the other side before we go on to Don't Let Me Down and Let It Be, new remix of the single versions. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think that version of I'm in Mine, I don't think my life's improved by having it. The 1970 Across the Universe mix, I think is fantastic and I love it. I don't really need that I'm in Mine mix, to be honest. So, are we all about ready to go with the last two songs? To drop our needle or to press play again on our digital copies? I will give you a 5 count, okay? We're about to go in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. It's not strictly the single mix, is it? I mean, it will be once they get going, but... But I suppose you could say this was all mixed out of the original, so a remix, you know, if you're remixing it, you can mix something back in this case, the intro. So, Sealed Decker says, is there a solo Beatles album that you prefer over Let It Be? Several. Yeah, there is. All Things Must Pass. Ram. Maybe Imagine or Plastic Ono Band potentially. This sounds brilliant. How good does this sound? So we've had a bit of a dodgier version of Don't Let Me Down Early. Well, not a dodgy version, but a more laid back version. This sounds really nice. Ricardo says they should have let the intro out. You can't put it in a playlist now. Well, I guess you could put it in a playlist if you wanted to, but it'd be there. If you've got the skills, you could also edit it out yourself. If I wanted to do that, I would use Audacity software to edit it out. Chaos says, Lucas, what is that an album you prefer to Let It Be? This sounds really, really nice. Nice bottom end, says Old Guys. I can go with that. Dum bum 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 dum bum 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 bum. It's just a great song, is this. And I'm still annoyed that they didn't put it on the Let It Be album. I mean, you could understand them leaving off a great Paul McCartney song if there'd been one, because he already had Let It Be and Get Back and Long and Winding Road and 2 of us on there. John didn't have the luxury of great January 69 material other than Don't Let Me Down. It was not up to his standards. Is my opinion anyway. I really like that we've got the version of this now, the other rooftop version, on one of the other discs where John gets the words wrong and does the glob, gleeb, glob, blib, blib, blob, blob. I like having that version now. I think it was the Imagine film, you know, that came out in the late 80s that showed that clip of him messing the words up on the rooftop. I always really loved that. Bernardo, sorry you're late. Well, we'll let you off. Thank you for joining us now. True Blue says that this remix set is by far your favourite, followed by the White Album. I'll tell you what, that's a good idea for a poll. I'm going to do another poll, folks. Favourite remix package so far. So we're going to have Pepper. We're going to have White Album. Have Abbey Road. Poll incoming in a moment, folks. Which do you think of the sort of deluxe packages that we've had over the last few years? Which do you like the best? Listen to Paul. The clarity there on Paul's voice is amazing. Even more so than on the album version. Somebody was saying earlier that they hadn't heard the single version before. I can't remember who it was. If it was you, are you still here? Let us know. Again, I mean, this sounds great. White Album by far, says Westfield. I do love the White Album version. Blockfrog, that was you. Yes, you're still here. Okay. So, if you've never heard this version before, you're going to hear a very different guitar solo and a very different intro to the guitar solo. Let us know, Blockfrog, what you think of it at the end. I would like to know. Pepper needed a remix more than anything else. I agree, just because of how all the bounce downs that they've done and the fact that they were able to separate stuff out. It needed it, whether you agreed or not with how they did it. I think it is the one that needed it. Isha demos are brilliant, Anthony, and work so good on vinyl as well. Here we go, Blockfrog. So here's your changes coming up now. Guitar solo. So if you've not heard this, that's probably going to freak you out what you're listening to now. Yes, Graham, Giles Martin is remixing Pepper in Atmos. Said he didn't think that they'd done it good enough first time round. Cheers, Bella the dog. Had you heard that before, Blockfrog? What did you think? How's this poll going anyway? Have a look. Oh, White Album is bossing it. 45% of you. I think the actual remix of Abbey Road sounds sensational. I think that's fair that White Album is winning this. Yeah, I think that's about right. Mo, when are we getting the 2021 remix of Ballad of John and Yoko? Hopefully that means that they are planning a remix past masters set. The fact that the Get Back single mix isn't in this box set and that. So that gives me hope that we'll get that. Don't worry, Marcel. I'm not worth listening to anyway. When will we get the Atmos Pepper? I don't know, Graham. I'm not sure. Right, let's end that poll. White Album has won that. You liked that, Block Frog. Excellent. Okay. That's the Let It Be EP. Done. Finished at my end. I really enjoyed that. That was fun. I wasn't expecting to add that on to the end, but I'm glad we did that. I've been on nearly 2 hours now. This could be just about my longest live stream, but it's been fun. I'm so pleased that so many of you have stuck around as well. That's been really good to see. Thank you. But I will be finishing soon. We're not quite done yet. If you've got anything else that you want to ask, get it sent through quickly before we finish, okay? If I don't see it now, I will see it tomorrow when I reread the comments, as I always do afterwards. So Abbey Road only got 8% of the vote of that for your favourite remix package. That's interesting. I thought the remix of the album itself, as I said, sounded really good. Maybe the extras I wasn't as keen on as some of the others. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Andrew Galvin. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. You've done that before, haven't you? That's very kind. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Seal Decker, are you? Is that true, or is that a fun joke you're giving us there? If that's true, then excellent. Where is it? Which town or city is it in? Would like to know. Cheers, Beetleham. What's Bernardo saying about the Abbey Road mix? The Abbey Road mix is great, yes, but the original mix was okay too. It certainly was. The White Album remix sounded so much more modern than the original one. The thing I find with the White Album remix, this is just my opinion, that each song individually sounds kind of the best you've ever heard it. But altogether, it can sometimes be a bit much. And I also find towards the back end of the White Album, the back end of the White Album should take you to a dark place. And it kind of doesn't for me on the remix. It's just sort of, it's great. But it doesn't, it should be kind of haunting. And I don't get that feeling with the remix. But yeah, each individual song, taken in isolation, sounds fantastic. Sonically, Abbey Road sounded amazing. Westfield, well, whether you're talking about the original mix or the remix, I would agree with that sentiment either way. Thank you, DJ Tim, much appreciated. True Blue sums it up here. When all is said and done, the Beatles are the best band ever. Yeah. I would absolutely agree with that. It's because the thing is, if they're not the best band ever, there's got to be some other band that's better. And I really can't think of any band that there has been that's been better. Wow, Westfield 90, that is so. Thank you. I've never asked for anything like that. That's really appreciated. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for contributing, and thank you for joining in and enjoying it. Really appreciated. J.A. says, Andrew, which remix set is your favourite? Well, I was quite happy to see the White Album win that poll. I think the Isha demos are superb, especially on vinyl. Often I'm not too fussed about having the bonus content on vinyl. Usually CD's okay for me for the bonus content, but there's something about the Isha demos that just works so much better on vinyl than it does on CD, I think. So yeah, I would probably go with the White Album as well. Pepper was the one that I was most excited for, and I did really love it, and I did really enjoy it. There's an instrumental version of, I think it's Getting Better, yeah, that's in the Pepper remix box, and to me it just sounds like, it's like listening to Small Faces when they used to do some of their more is it Eddie's Dreaming, that's like a kind of a, I don't think calypso's the word, or reggae and calypso are not the right words, but going more in that direction. Getting Better sounds like that. It's just really, really exciting. Quick off topic from Anthony. Let's have a look at that. I'm starting to think Pet Sounds is the greatest album of all time, but I feel like a traitor to the cause. Do you know, if anybody says to me that they think that Pet Sounds is the greatest album of all time, I can't really disagree with them. It's not my number one. But, if I had to have a very, very, very small number of albums in the mix for discussion for that point, Pet Sounds is going to be in there. Absolutely. It's got to be. Oh, Martin, this is getting embarrassing. Block Frog, this is getting embarrassing now. Thank you. I've never had anything like that before from anybody in this. The amount of people doing that. Thank you so much. That's really kind of you. It looks like some of you enjoy this. I think the question is, what's the next listening party going to be? If you could give me your thoughts now, because I think there's probably a fair amount of you on here who do seem to enjoy these listening parties. I enjoy doing them, and I like to do them when something new like this comes out. And I sometimes wonder whether, do we just pick an album that's not suddenly been re-released or remixed, and pick out Rubber Soul, for example, and let's do Rubber Soul when it's not part of any campaign at the moment. But what kind of albums would you like to see in a listening party? Is there anything that you think would be a really good one? Let me know, because then I'm not doing pure McCartney, Block Frog, as a listening party. God, that would be. I mean, we could do. It'd be great, but it probably won't be pure McCartney. What's my number one album of all time? Says Rodolfo. I will give the answer that I normally give here. It's Sgt. Pepper. To me, it's the greatest achievement that there's ever been in terms of using 4 tracks of a recording desk and coming up with Sgt. Pepper. If you took the most talented of current bands, I was going to use Radiohead as an example there, but even they've been around 30 odd years now, and said, we want you to record your masterpiece, and here's a 4-track machine to do it on. They'd just laugh you out of the building. So it's Byron. Thank you so much. I really do. I really do appreciate it. That's really kind of you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So yeah, to do what they did with Sgt. Pepper is ridiculous in 4 tracks. Wildlife Archive listening party, says Tim. Wildlife would be great. Isha Demos, says James. Yeah, that would be an Isha Demos listening party. Yeah, that's I like the sound of that. That's a definite tempter. Is that one? Are the Isha Demos on Spotify? Does anybody know? Because I would like it to be available to people who've maybe not bought the deluxe sets as well. It's nice to have more people able to join in. So if you could, well, let's just have a quick look. I'm not quite sure whether it's. I'm just going to have a look. I'm going to fire up Spotify and have a quick look while we carry on through the comments. Band on the Run must be the UK version, says Lima. I absolutely agree. I have no time at all for Hell and Wheels on the Band on the Run album. Shouldn't be there. I'm searching Spotify for Isha Demos to see whether... I start typing in Isha and it's come up with Ed Sheeran. No! It looks like they're there. It looks like they're there. They are. Right, okay, so that's good. So they are on streaming. So I think, yeah, Isha Demos sounds like a great shout, to be honest. But I will go through all your comments, like I say, tomorrow and see if there's any other really good shouts on there about a listening party. I like the idea of the Isha Demos. The Love album as well. Dickie, I absolutely love the Love album. I would love to see a Love 2. Get Giles on the case for another Love album. That's probably not why he's been playing around with Eleanor Rigby tapes, because that's already on the main Love album as well, isn't it? I don't think that would be that no. But yeah, the Love album is another absolute favourite of mine. Yeah, so Wings Over Europe, that would be great, Blockfrog. The issue there is that that's absolutely not on streaming, and the only people who've got it, well, legitimately, are those who got the ultimate Paul McCartney archive set, the 71 to 73 one. So again, it would probably there's a lot of people probably couldn't join in that one. Red Rose Speedway, I'd absolutely be up for that. Red Rose Speedway double album, says Anthony. Yeah, I think it's good that a lot of you are mentioning kind of regular albums as well, things like Wildlife, Red Rose Speedway, etc. Because that maybe tells me that there could be an appetite to do some of those as well, and not wait for a new release. But if they do Wildlife Half Speed remaster at Christmas or around Christmas, I would definitely do a listening party for that. Definitely. Oh, Seal Decker, Beat Meat is true. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was... I wasn't sure if you were being cheeky there. It's in Leiden, a city in Holland. Okay, well, enjoy that. Enjoy Beat Meat. That's not a sentence I thought I'd be saying tonight. Matthew loves Helen Wheels, but not on Band on the Run. I absolutely agree. It's a fine, fine song. Paul McCartney did not intend for that song to be on the album. It was a decision by Capitol. So, yeah. Hollywood Bowl gets overlooked. The best song on the Hollywood Bowl, well, the new version anyway, it's Ringo singing Boys. I think that's fantastic. Blockfrog, Two Virgins listening party. It would be nice for people to actually join in. I don't think we'd get many people joining in for a Two Virgins listening party. God, can you imagine that? That would be terrible. Yeah. Declan, you're going to try and sort out some Get Back posters. You'll try and get one to me. Well, thank you. I guess you're referring to possibly what we were talking about on Twitter the other day. I said, that if you've seen the Get Back poster with the photograph at EMI House with the four Beatles in 1969, and then above them, sort of a couple of floors up, you've got the 1963 versions looking down. It's a fantastic poster. I would love to have a full-size poster of that. I think they would be missing a trick if they don't make that available officially to buy as a big poster. That would be amazing. Yeah, Pet Sounds, Anthony. I would be well up for a Pet Sounds listening party. Smile Sessions, interesting. If it was Beach Boys, I would go with Pet Sounds, I think, is the one I would like to do. Wings at the Speed of Sound. Yeah, there's some really good, interesting ideas. Press to Play would be fun. It's a very enjoyable album, I think. Dylan Bootleg series as a listening party. That could be an interesting one to try and sell to people. Which one would you choose? Which one would you choose anyway? So I think there's some great ideas there, folks. I think more listening parties are something I would definitely like to do. Yeah, definitely. Flipping Heck, Westfield, thank you. Thank you very much. By the way, I loved your Imagine Piano Confusion video. I'd like a deep dive into other songs that you can explain the backstory and or recording sessions. Okay, well, thank you very much, first of all, again. Yeah, I enjoyed doing that one, because the thing with those is I never set out to... I don't usually set out with the initial thought of making a video on those things. It's usually that I get a bit confused. I made a mistake about something about the pianos that Imagine was recorded on. I said something that was incorrect, and then I thought, I want to find out what the truth is. So I found out what the truth was, and I thought, well, if I've got that wrong, then there might be some other people who don't know. Maybe it's an interesting story to tell. So I never think, right, I want to make a video about a song. What song shall I do? It's always where I've gone through that process and thought, I wonder if other people would like to hear about that as well. The next one that I'm thinking of potentially is... No, I'm not going to tell you. But I have got one that I'm planning at the moment along those lines. Something, we're going back to very, very early Beatles. We're going back right to the beginning. So anyway, Graham's emailed Disney about the poster, no reply. Yeah, I've not heard anything to suggest that there's going to be an official one. Because I guess if there's unofficial ones, it's only going to be based on what's been publicised online. And if it's a picture that's that big, how do you blow it up to this size and still make it look really sharp? That's the difficult thing. So Beatles for Sale listening party, True Blue, that would be great. I would love to do that. That's no reason why that couldn't go on the list. Folks, I'm about to wrap it up now. I've been on well over 2 hours. My voice was shot an hour and a half ago. You've all been fantastic. Thank you, everybody who's said thank you in a very particular way. That's crazy, but I really appreciate that. I will see you all very soon. I've got a lot of things listed about videos that I need to record soon, and I am going to get them all done. Well, I'm not going to rush them out, but I've got lots of ideas So I'm still enjoying doing this, and I will be back with you very soon for more. But I'm going to go now anyway because I'm waffling. So cheers, everybody. Have a great night. I hope to see you very soon. We will do more listening parties. And you've all been awesome. Cheers. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.